y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. For this week's But Do They Watermarble, I'm featuring the Retro Remix collection available right now from LeChat Nails. These are available at like beauty type stores. I do have a full swatch and review. I did it a while back, so I'll link it down below. These were sent to me for review, and I'll get right on into it. So as always, I'm starting with my tiny teacup full of room temperature filtered water. I'm going to drop them first in the order that I swatched them in, so in the Roy G. Biv order. These were a little bit on the thicker side, so they were a little bit slow to drop. I did find that touching them to the water did help a lot with that. Since they are thick, I wasn't able to really build up that bullseye with a ton of different rings. It kind of piled up the polish in the center. These are not aggressive spreaders by any means, but they do a fabulous job. I had to kind of coerce them to go to the edge of my cup using my Watermarble tool from What's Up Nails, so I can continue dropping in that bullseye. I was able to make, I believe, 9 rings. That was a drop of each color and then a repetition of 3. So here I'm going in for my linear pattern like I like to do. These did a fabulous job at manipulating. The edges stayed nice and malleable as well. I was able to go in for a full double look. So next I'll show you how they performed in the reverse order. So this is the purple all the way back down to the pink. Pretty much the same spread. They do spread a little bit on the slow side, but they are nice and thick and stay nice and malleable. I did have to convince these to go to the edge of my cup again. I found that doing a full circuit of 6 colors and then manipulating the rings out to the edges really helped them retain their circularness, if that makes sense. So I did end up doing a full swirl with this order first, and that is what my thumbnail picture is, but I loved it so much I saved it for my final look. So here I'm going to go in for a petal pattern, and you can see the edges were a little bit dry there. I think that the reason for that was I didn't have it completely anchored to the side of my cup, so I was able to go in and just make a ton of different petals. I did notice quite a bit of polish pile up there in the middle, so you can see when I dip my tool in and collect that excess polish, it's really going to help with that. I've been wiping on a napkin in between each dip to help it not be muddy when you go in for your final look. So you can see there I was able to just completely keep playing with it. No drying of the pattern at all, no problems. So for my final look, I do have my nails prepped with 1 coat of Pure by Tux Polish. This is coming in stock super soon, as well as some Cuticula liquid nail tape. I'll link that down below. They were sent to me for review as well. So for my final look, I figured I would start with some polishes that are towards the center. So I did start with that bright coral orange. I'm going to work my way back down to the pink. So I did notice the same thing. I did get a nice bullseye of about 6 colors, and then I kind of convinced it to go all the way to the edge and anchored it to my cup. This one was a little bit wonky, a little bit not completely circular, but that's okay. I'm going to keep piling in the polish to make a lot of rings. I am going in for a full swirl with this pattern, and I really love it when you have a good mix of rainbow colors. So here I'm going to pull a bunch of points outwards. I believe it ends up being 8. It really helps anchor it to the side of the cup as well. You can see I kind of scoop the polish right to the edge there. That's going to help so much when dragging your pattern. So this almost looks like a spider web. Next I'm going to pull all of the points inwards, and this is where I really start gathering up that excess polish that is kind of being pulled back to the center so that the end pattern isn't muddy. So I like to pull from opposite edges just to keep it nice and balanced, a little bit symmetrical. Once I have all those points pulled inwards, it did get a little bit thin on me there. So normally you would dip right in the middle with a circular pattern like this. I really just pulled on the outside rings because I liked how that looked, and I was concerned about the middle being a little bit thin. So I'm just going to dip that down at an angle and then collect all the excess polish. Here's a look at what that dip looks like. I did repeat that process for each of my nails. So next I'll be removing that Cuticula nail tape. I did have to do a little bit of cleanup here with acetone and a cleanup brush, but not as much as I would have had to done without that latex barrier. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. These do dry down super matte without a top coat, and I really enjoyed that look. I love how these all look together. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting. And then once more under my UV or black lighting. These are super intensely bright. And here's a look once more at an angle in direct sunlight. So if you're interested in seeing that swatch and review, again, I'll link it down below. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.